We began dating in January of 2014.
All right. At some point, you think it's a bright idea to get him on your phone plan or add him to your phone plan?
So I added him to my phone plan in January.
How long had you known him before you added him to your phone plan?
We had been friends since that summer before.
How long had you been dating him before you put him on your phone plan?
That month.
So you date a guy, you haven't dated him 30 days yet, and you can't wait to put him on your phone plan.
Correct.
Who's the gentleman next to you?
This is my dad.
Ah, jeez. I can only imagine what he said when he heard. So you put him on your phone plan, and what happens?
Well, we had an agreement that he was going to pay his half of the phone.
Oh, wait, but it gets richer than that. You didn't just put him on your phone plan. You bought him a brand new, at the time, iPhone 5S, correct?
Correct.
And then it gets financed on your bill.
Correct.
Which means, it doesn't mean it's a free phone. It means it's a phone that you're going to be paying for every month, right?
Correct.
That's what you did with the guy you just started dating.
Correct.
Okay, go on.
So then, in March, he had asked me to move in, so I had moved in. In March. And,
okay, now the phone seems like nothing. So you know a guy 2 months, or you're dating a guy 2 months, and you move in with him.
Correct.
Okay.
So I was paying him $80 a week for rent, and then on the last week of every month, we agreed that I wasn't going to pay him the $80. I was just going to take care of the phone bill, because his share of the phone bill was $83.09. So it kind of like equaled out. So I just paid the phone bill on that last week.
So it's like the phone bill was your rent. That was your agreement for that week. Okay.
Right. And then in the summer, our relationship began to get rocky, and so the bills kind of started to fall on me. So I was still giving him...
What bills started trying to fall on you?
The phone bill and our Comcast.
Well, the phone bill is your responsibility. It's your rent for that week, you said.
Right.
Okay, and then talk to me about Comcast.
That was our wireless internet that we had hooked up in June, and we had an agreement that we were also going to pay half each for that.
So in June, when it got hooked up, the first bill comes in July, and who pays that?
Me.
Why didn't you get half from him?
Because he didn't give me money that month.
Okay, then why didn't you not pay $80 in rent?
Because he needed the money to pay for rent, and I didn't want the landlord to cause any discrepancies with us.
Why didn't you shut off the Wi-Fi if he couldn't afford his half?
Because I needed it for school.
Okay, and didn't he have Wi-Fi already?
No.
So he didn't need Wi-Fi?
No. I needed it for
school. So you needed Wi-Fi for school, but the agreement is that you're going to split it, and he never gave you any money towards it, and yet you never took that money out of any rent that you were paying?
Correct.
Until you guys broke up?
Right.
How did you guys end up breaking up?
In October, I caught him hanging out with her.
And she is whom?
His ex, so-called new girlfriend now.
Ex and new?
Yes.
So before and after you?
Yes.
Okay, and did you take him from her?
No.
Okay, so what do you mean you catch him? What does that mean? Honey, no. No.
Okay.
Because that's not how life operates. What happens is you want what you can't have, you don't want to wait and earn it, and so you get a phone.
And then stiffed her over the phone. But she sounds very desperate. It happened almost as soon as they met. Let's listen.
Well, he was at my restaurant with her, and so he had called me.
Oh, it's not very crafty, but go ahead. He was at your restaurant with her.
So he had called me because he wanted me to meet her so that way nobody would think that anything was going on, according to his words, because obviously everyone knows both of us there. So I went to the restaurant and met her, and then a week later while I was at work, I had saw text messages from an individual showing me that they were at a bar together all night, and I came home and he was drunk. And then I came home that night and saw in his phone that he had been hanging out with her.
And how were you able to see it in his phone?
I went in his phone and looked.
He doesn't have a password on his phone?
No, he does. I knew it.
How did you know the password?
Because I found it out.
How did you find it out?
By watching him put it in his phone.
Okay. So what happens?
I moved back home with my parents in October.
So you're suing for everything that you paid in the past for his phone?
Well, since we had broken up, I have been having the financial burden of the phone plan for both phones. I have not.
When did you guys break up?
It was in January, but I left him. I wasn't living with him since October.
So you are suing for the charges for his phone. Did he still have the phone?
Yes.
And was he able to use the phone?
Yes.
Is he still able to use the phone today?
No.
Okay. So in October, when you're no longer living there, you want him to pay give me the bills then for that you are asking that he pay. October 2014, because I don't come up with the same numbers you come up with. October 2014 through when? February 15th, because that's when you canceled it?
March. No, because The problem with Sprint is they will not allow me to cancel the phone because of the installment charge that is still due.
They don't cancel it, they just call it in.
Right, which is $379.09, which is also part of what I'm suing him for Sprint, because that's what I need to pay them in order to cancel him off of my plan.
And then there's a TV and entertainment center. Talk to me about that.
We purchased it in the summer when we were living together because at the time we wanted a new TV and we needed to get an entertainment system where the TV would fit because he had a smaller TV that was on top of the table, and we bought a flat screen and we ended up buying the entertainment system to go with it.
What's we? How did you buy a flat screen?
It was a cash transaction. I gave him $250 cash and he bought it with his other half of the cash.
And what was the plan when and if you guys broke up about who was going to get what? There was no plan, was there?
No.
Okay, let's hear from you.
There actually was a plan. I had said a million times that if we ever broke up, that the stuff would stay at the house because it was bought for the house.
But did she pay $250?
No. She rarely gave money.
Did she pay you rent?
Occasionally gave me some money.
What did you think was going to happen with the phone when you guys broke up?
See, this is another funny thing about the phone. I have a contract. I was in a contract when she went to go get her new phone. She was the one who wanted to switch companies or get a new phone. I can't remember which one it was. So we go there. We go to two different Sprint stores that tell us completely different stories, confuse the
They
crap
just want you to
out.
sign.
So they tell us about
Sprint and all of them.
the Framley plan, FR, whatever. So I get confused. She's trying to fill out the paperwork. Next thing I know, we walk out with two brand new phones.
Okay, no, honey, no. No.
Okay.
Because that's not how life operates. What happens is you want what you can't have. You don't want to wait and earn it, and so you get a phone. So nobody put a gun to your head to get a phone.
No.
You got a phone. Now, physically, where is that phone?
I think it got stolen from my car.
Okay, so it stayed with you. All right, so now let's talk about the Wi-Fi at the house. She says that you were supposed to pay for half?
I didn't even want the Wi-Fi. I've never had Wi-Fi. I don't right now.
All right, so, and then talk to me about the TV and the entertainment center. According to you, she never paid anything.
No.
So what went wrong between you two?
My cousin passed away, like a brother to me, very close cousin. She was actually with me when I got the phone call and I had to go to the hospital and see his dead body. And I went through a very emotional time after that. And when Morgan came around for all the funeral services and everything, because she was a very good friend, he actually stayed at the house when we were together originally. We started spending more time together because we were talking and just, you know, memorializing my cousin, and she didn't like it. And I was always honest. I don't lie. I told her every time we hung out.
Were you hooking up with her while you were still with her?
No. It was.
Did she think you were hooking up with her while you were still with her?
She did.
Okay, so how did you guys break up? Did she break up with you or did you break up with her?
I broke up with her.
And you told her what? I can't take your jealousy? Was the breakup nasty?
We had been living together, and obviously during that week he had been hanging out with her because it was the week of all the services. So also during the services, she got really drunk and was all over him and had her.
Every time I would have borrowed $2,000 from any individual.
Why is it that you're paying him back if you don't owe him the money? What on earth are you saying?
Next, People's Court. Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So, she starts heaping this stuff on him. Appropriate or desperate? What do you think?
I think she's desperate.
30. Well, at what period of time do you start getting gifts for the other person you're dating?
3 months.
Okay, fair point. What do you think? Appropriate or desperate?
Desperate.
Because?
Too soon. I don't think that.
Too soon?
Trying to buy love.
Oh my God, you said exactly what was in my head. Literally was in my head. Excellent. I mean, it's not excellent just because you agree with me, but excellent. Going inside the courtroom.
I understand that she didn't like me hanging out with her. I wouldn't have
Well, you're
liked
with her now, so that you can understand how, right?
Absolutely.
You guys went back, like, how soon after that?
Relatively
Minutes?
soon.
Relatively soon. All right, so she stops looking crazy when you come in with the girlfriend who she thought was your girlfriend. All right, so now, do you have a receipt for the entertainment unit?
I do.
May I see it? And do you have any form to prove that you paid half of the entertainment unit?
I do not. I paid cash because I'm a waitress, and that's where most of my money
That's
comes
fine,
from.
but do you have any text
that is
between the two of you? Any witnesses that could corroborate that you paid half of that? Any way at all on God's green acres to prove that you paid half?
My dad does know that we did purchase the TV and the entertainment system.
Okay, that's your dad.
But
What do I think he's going to do? Call him up and say, did she tell you she paid half? I
No.
guess so. Come on up, Dad. Let's talk. Did she tell you she paid half of the TV?
She did, and I admonished her for it.
And when did she pay half of the TV?
It was, I believe, during the summer.
No, but did she tell you, I'm sorry, when did she, wait, when did she tell you that she paid half for the TV? When she was doing it, or after the breakup and she couldn't get the money?
No, when she was doing it, she was all excited to tell me they had bought a new TV, and
Okay.
I had told her, you shouldn't be doing
Did you know
this.
about the phone?
Absolutely. I gave her an admonishment about that, too. I didn't even want her to move in because I
Does
said,
she listen?
no, she didn't.
Okay, go ahead. Have a seat, Dad. We've put you out enough. Was the breakup nasty?
We had been living together, and obviously during that week he had been hanging out with her because it was the week of all the services. So also during the services, she got really drunk and was all over him and had her face at one point in his crotch. I had witnesses from work see that. And that was the
Did
point.
you see it or no?
Yes, I did see it.
Okay, go on.
And I got told I was being catty for speaking up about something like that. So,
Okay. And then you broke up, but then what happened after the breakup? Was it nasty?
yes, they were taunting me in my job.
What do you mean by taunting you at your job?
Name calling, harassing, making noises. That's part of the
Who's
reason.
they? She doesn't work there.
Both of them. They
Wait.
were, well, he worked, and then she would be with him while he was making his deliveries. And then when he was off the clock, they would have drinks at the bar.
Okay, and
I
then
was still working.
They were taunting you, calling you names how?
There was one day where she went up to my tables and told my tables that I'm a and that they shouldn't tip me. There was another day where she was making vomiting noises while I was there. She physically threw her shoulder into me one day, and then that's what led to me getting a restraining order against him.
You got a restraining order against him?
Correct.
When he was working there? You
Yes.
just described 3 things she did. What did he do that you got a restraining order against him?
He was also harassing and provoking
How?
me with noises and name calling.
Yeah,
He
you got a
called me a
restraining order
bitch.
somebody because they're calling you names.
Well, he got into my face one night at work and got pretty violent with, well,
How?
by raising his hand and yelling. And so my parents had told me to call the cops so that way nothing went against my nursing license.
Well, that's fine, but you can't make up a restraining order. You know, you're telling me my parents gave me the advice that I should make sure and get a restraining order against him so my nursing license isn't jeopardized. That's not what restraining orders are for. Was a restraining order granted by the judge?
Absolutely.
Did you
I
have a full
paid-
hearing?
I paid a
Here,
lawyer.
since you want to talk so much from a seat, stand up and come to the microphone. I'm sorry. Did you go? So go on.
I paid a lawyer. I had a lawyer come, and I thought I had all the evidence proving that she hadn't been in fear for her life for the dates that she said. She actually offered to lend me money to go snowboarding because I was very depressed about my cousin passing away and everything. And she got me fired from my job.
What makes you-
I feel like she went to the owner and convinced her that I was no good for the restaurant. She even
So
went
let's hear
out-
from you. Were you shouldering her and calling her bad words, bad names to customers and all that stuff?
No. I had no confrontations. There's no
She
confrontations.
says you were all over him at the funeral.
No.
Is the restraining order in effect right now?
Yes.
So, here is what I am ordering. Because you have no phone to turn in, I am, which I don't believe you probably do have the phone, but anyway. The $379.09 is what I'm going to order you to pay. As for all those other months that you made a decision that you would pay that phone bill, that was the arrangement you had because you weren't paying rent for that week, you got to be kidding me. Why would I ever order him to turn around retroactively and pay you that? That's silly. So no, you will not be getting any of that. You will get the $379.09. As far as the wireless internet, the man didn't have it before, the man didn't have it afterwards, and not one time during the course of your living there did you ever collect half of that wireless internet from him. I do, however, find that she paid into the TV and the entertainment unit. I find it because I recognize the angst of a parent who thinks their kid is screwing up. Okay? So, I'm going to order you to pay $250, which would be half of the entertainment unit, $379.09 for a sum total judgment in favor of the plaintiff in the amount of $629.09. That is my verdict. Good luck, folks.
Thank you.
Well, the plaintiff does collect something back. What are you thinking here coming out?
I think it was a very fair judgment.
You do?
Yeah, absolutely.
Why would she have to sue you for all this stuff? What's going on?
I just feel like she's hurt from me breaking up with her and took it out on me the only way she could. She sued her blood mother for child support in December. So the second time I've been in court with her, I guess she just solves her problems in court.
Second time? You think there'll be a third time?
Third time she's been in court since December. So
Do you think you've heard the end of her?
I hope so. I mean, I have to go back in September for something else with her. So.
All right, guys,
Thank you.
All right, so step on in here. You satisfied how this finally works out?
I am very happy with the verdict. Yes, I wish him the best, and I just I want to move on with my life and be done with this.
You're done suing him?
Yes.
All right. He says that you're being vindictive because he dumped you.
No, absolutely not. I got put in a financial burden. I myself am in a financial struggle now.